All right, so find your comfortable seat, which doesn't have to look like my comfortable seat. Feel into the grounding contact in your seat and feel into the length of your spine. Think of the crown of your head reaching up. So we're sitting tall but not rigid or stiff. Place your hands wherever it's comfortable for you, maybe palms down for grounding or palms up for receptivity. Could even rest your hands on the ground, whatever you like. Close your eyes if that works for you. Focus on your breath. Let it slow down and get deeper. Tune into the movements of your breathing, the rising expansion of the inhale, the grounding contraction of the exhale, the pulse of life rising and rooting. Notice where you feel the inhales and the exhales. Notice how each part of your breath feels. Notice whatever else is present for you right now. And that doesn't have to be just the physical stuff. You can notice feelings and thoughts as well. And just as we keep in mind any physical issues, any soreness or stiffness during practice, we can keep in mind thoughts and feelings that are present at the start of practice and also take care of ourselves in that way during practice by skipping or modifying whatever you need to. Sometimes just recognizing where your energy level is at is a good idea at the start of practice. Knowing that you can always just drop into child's pose and hit your own pause button while we do something else. And you can always just weave your way back in when you're ready. Thinking of what has brought you to your seat in this moment, what has brought you to your mat this morning. And does that, maybe along with what you've noticed you have going on, suggest an intention, something you might want to work on cultivating, or something you might want to work on letting go of, or just something you want to investigate, remain curious about, and explore during today's practice. But whatever your intention for your practice might be, coalesce and sink roots. And with our intentions in place, let's take 3 deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through your mouth with a sighing sound. Let your eyes open if they're still closed. And if you've got your hands on the floor like I do, bring your hands to rest on your legs. We're going to shift our shoulders first. We usually do this after we're standing up. Today we'll do it sitting down. We'll just shuffle things in the old yoga deck a little bit, change up the order. Lift your left shoulder towards your ear and slide it back and let it down. And then the right shoulder up and back and down. Inhale, reach out to the sides. As you exhale, reach for your shoulder blades and hug yourself, or if you like, come to eagle arms. Find your arms together, press your palms together. If you're taking eagle, raise your elbows and your hands and reach them away from your face and your chest. With an inhale, spread your wings. And as you exhale, cross your arms the other way. Breathing into the big space between the shoulder blades, the back of the heart space. Inhale, spread your wings again. Exhale, let your arms come down. Inhale your arms out and up. Interlace your fingers. Flip your palms up and look up at those hands and lift up your heart. With an inhale, come upright. As you exhale, bend to the right, feeling for length through both arms. Try not to lift your left butt cheek off the floor as you bend, staying rooted wherever you're touching the ground. Inhale to come through center and exhale to bend to the left, staying rooted. With an inhale, come up. With an exhale, let your hands come out and down. Bring your hands to your knees. We'll take some seated cow and cat breaths. Inhale, draw your heart forward, head tips back. Exhale, draw your heart back, head tips forward and down, following the pace of your breath. We don't have to go at the same speed. Your breaths might be shorter than mine, your breaths might be longer. I keep in mind, thanks to colleagues in Boston, that my breaths are a lot longer than many folks' breaths are. At my going away party before I moved here, the subject of breaths came up, and how when we're using breath as a way to count in class, it can sometimes trip you up because the teacher might say 3 breaths, and maybe for the teacher's 3 breaths, you're taking 2 or you're taking 4. And a colleague of mine looked me square in the eye and very seriously said, "Yeah, Leo, you take some long-ass breaths." Thank you, Lisa, for planting that observation in my mind. And let's make some circles now. As you come forward, go to one side, and as you go back, go to the other. Nice. Yeah. Fluid, smooth movement. Breath flowing like water. When you finish the next circle, change direction. Does that bring different feelings? Does that help release something that going in the other direction wasn't getting? Always observing. When you finish the next circle, sit up again. And we'll make our way up onto our hands and knees, however you want to get there. Be sure to open your hands way up. Feel your whole palms grabbing the floor. Line your shoulders up above your wrists and your hips above your knees. Reach back with your right foot and press the ball of your foot against the floor. Think of your heel moving away from your tailbone. And relax the pressure on your foot. Slide it out to the side. Bring it in line with your hip. We're going to explore a rocking movement here. A little goes a long way, so start out small. Exhale, sit back towards your left heel. And inhale, glide forward again. Be particularly mindful of the sensation here on the inner thigh, the extended leg. That's the spot where it's easiest to overdo the movement. So take as much or as little movement as feels good for you. Stretching a lot of different things here. Exhale when you go back. Inhale when you come forward. Seems simple, but some days just remembering to keep the breath aligned with the movement. Some movements encourage or work better with an inhale, some with an exhale. The movement helps the breath, and the breath helps the movement. When you rock forward again, let's pause with the rocking. Walk your hands forward and let your head come down between your arms, kind of like downward facing dog for your upper body. And then scoot your hands over to the left. And give a little push against your hands. Think of sending that left hip an inch or two towards that left heel. And then we really get into a few different places at once. Outsides of the right knee there, the inner thigh, outer hip, sacrum, line between the outer hip and the sacrum. Various places you might feel this. And of course, the right under the arm, upper right side there, the serratus muscle. Scoot your hands back towards center line and then back in under your shoulders. Sweep your foot back behind and bring your knee down again. Reach your left foot back and press it against the floor. Take a couple breaths. Relax that pressure and slide the foot out to the side. And start to explore that rocking. Exhale, sit back a little. Inhale, come forward again. And after your next exhale forward, let's pause again with the rocking. Walk your hands forward. Relax your neck. Let your head come down between your arms. Walk your hands over to the right. And give that little push into your hands. Send your right heel. Nope. Send your right hip towards your right heel. Walk your hands back to center. Back in under your shoulders. Sweep your foot back and bring your knee down. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. Inhale, glide forward. We're sort of rocking from table to child's pose, but let the movement go where it wants to. So you might find as you come forward and things start to open up, your hands want to walk forward. Maybe your shoulders start to go forward past your wrists. So it's more like cobra than table. See how much your body wants in each direction. Maybe it's opening more easily as you go back, or more easily as you come forward. Maybe it's about equal. This is a great one for tuning into how the breath and the movement work together. Your lungs want to empty as you sink back. Your belly presses to your thighs. You want to fill as you come forward, your diaphragm drops. And after your next exhale, come forward, returning to table. And we're going to take some twists from here. A lot of time this is taught as an arm extension. The cue might be lift your arm and look up at your hand. And that to me is just part of it. I learned this as a spinal twist and I always cue it like that. So starting from the waist and working our way up the spine. And just to make sure we're doing that, I cue it in 3 segments as I learned it. So we'll go to your right first. Inhaling, twist through your lower back, middle back, upper back, then reach your right arm out and up and look up towards your hand. Exhale, come down, reach across behind the other arm. Look towards your hand again. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reach up, open up, look up. Exhale, thread the needle, maybe a little deeper. 1 more. Inhale and exhale. And then gently let that right shoulder down onto the floor. Let your right side of your head down onto the floor. If your head doesn't want to quite reach the floor, maybe that feels like plenty for you. But we have options to explore. If you want to, you can reach back, press into the ball of your left foot. Or you could pick that foot up, reach straight back in the air. That does come with the danger of tipping over onto your back. It's a gentle way to fall, but you can fall doing that. Or you could bring that foot over by your right hand. Maybe even put your hand, depending on the length of your limb. Sometimes that works out. And if none of that works, you can just keep that knee down. Other options, you might lift your left hand up, straight up, and let it drift back and forth like a weather vane. Arm moving in the shoulder socket, like an owl turning your head side to side. Or you might just fold that arm across your low back. Half bind. Then you can do the leg extension without the arm extension. You can do the arm extension without the leg extension. Do them both or skip them both. Lots of options here. If you have moved your left hand, bring it back and plant it by your face there. Stabilize yourself. And then if you have moved your left leg, bring it back in and bring the knee down, pressing into that left hand. Big inhale, open up, reach up, look up. Exhale, come down, plant your hand. Take 3 or 4 breaths with cow and cat pose. Inhaling, exhaling. And then come back to table, and we'll do the same thing on the other side. Remember, the twist starts at the waist and leads to the arm extension. Inhaling through the lower back, middle back, upper back, reach your left arm out and up, look up towards your hand. Exhale, come down, reach across. That's a lot of words for one inhale, huh? Let's do 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Take your time to let your shoulder down. Let your ear down on the ground. And explore as you like with leg extension, arm extension. I'm in the habit of doing a bit of each option even when I'm not the one teaching. I might be taking a class and the teacher would cue the twist without the extensions, and I just start doing all these extensions. One of the reasons I like to set up in the back when I'm taking a class, so don't accidentally throw somebody off. Some teachers are more welcoming about letting you do your own thing. I was taught that it's always okay to do your own thing, that we each find our own practice on our own mats. Don't believe in cookie cutter practice where everybody's got to look the same. We don't look the same when we're sitting still. Why should we look the same when we move through postures? If you've moved your right hand, bring it on back, ground into it. And if you've moved your right leg, bring it back in, ground that knee. Big inhale, open up, reach up, look up. Exhale, come down. Take 3 or 4 breaths of cow and cat. And when you're ready, we're going to start to stand, come to a forward fold. You can use blocks here. I'm going to use blocks here. Still nursing a little tweak in my back. Step one foot up between your hands and step the other one up to meet it. Now you could continue to use blocks here and lean on them a little. I've been liking that with my little back issue, or your hands can hang in the air or drag on the ground. Alternately, you might hold onto your elbows or clasp your hands at the base of your skull for some traction in your neck. Play with bending and straightening your legs, swaying back and forth a little or a lot, as you like. And already I'm ready to set my blocks aside. My back's getting better. If you're holding your elbows or clasping your hands, let your hands hang again. And real gently nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Inhale, lift up halfway, hands to the front of the legs. Push against your legs. Help the crown of your head reach forward away from your tailbone. Exhale, relax down. Inhale, roll up to standing, hands up overhead, palms together. Exhale, hands to heart. You don't have to step backwards as I'm doing it, just keeping myself in. Let your hands hang at your sides. Close your eyes and just take a few noticing breaths in Tadasana, mountain pose. Feel the swaying in your body, the movement of the breath. And just observing that your body knows how to stand without minute instruction. You're never completely still. There's always some movement. Your body is very wise. You're standing here thinking you're not doing anything. Your body's doing a lot of things right now. Balancing is an act, not a state. You let your eyes open up. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold forward. Make your way from forward fold to plank. Depending on how you're situated, you might be stepping your feet back or stepping your hands forward. Either is fine. Feel into that plank shape. Picture yourself. Nice long line from your shoulders to your heels, hips in line with shoulders and heels, or shoulders and knees if you opt for a shorter plank, which you're welcome to do anytime we're coming through plank. When you inhale, think of your heart reaching towards the sky. It's one of my favorite visualizations. It never fails. It feels like your arms just grew 3 inches when you do that. That's how it feels to me. With an exhale, slowly lower all the way down, keeping your elbows in close. Maybe even taking another breath if you go very slow. Take your time to let everything, the whole front of your body down. Rest your chin, untuck your toes. Press into your hands. Inhale, lift your head and chest to a low cobra or maybe higher. Listen to your low back. Choose the heart opener that's right for you each time. Exhale, rock back onto hands and knees and slowly on up to downward dog. Curl your toes under. Press into your feet to lift your knees. Press into your hands to lift your tailbone. And walk your dog. Pedal your feet up and down for a few breaths. Heels drawing closer and closer to the ground. Maybe nod your head and shake your head again. Then make your way from downward dog to forward fold. That might be stepping feet forward or hopping forward or walking your hands back. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale all the way up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, out and up. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, fold. Make your way to plank from your forward fold. And again, we're going to lower all the way down. Take your time. Find strength in the slowness. Come all the way down. And we're going to add in something different here. Now reach your hands out to the sides, palms down. And grabbing the floor with your right hand, walk your left hand in towards your body and press into that hand. So you push up, you roll onto your right hip, right side of your head rests on the ground, and your right shoulder is pressing against the floor and opening up. So we're basically using the floor like a big prop here. Now, like with the twist we were doing, you have the option here of some leg and arm extension. You might lift your left leg away from your right, like opening a pair of scissors. You might let that heel drift back. Maybe bend your knee if it feels like you want more, and see what happens with your leg bent like that. The weight of your leg might draw your foot a little closer to the floor with each exhale, and it might surprise you and touch down. And you can keep your left hand where it is, or you can reach it up and fold it across your low back. And as with the twist we did on all fours, you can do this leg extension without the arm extension. You can do this arm extension without the leg extension. You can do them both or skip them both. I love options. I love to have options pointed out. Sometimes we forget we have options. You might think of something that I didn't think of. Maybe there's other things to do here. Now, as we did before, if you've moved your arm, you want to bring the hand back and plant that left hand to stabilize yourself. And then, if you've got a leg extension going on as well, rewind that, lift the foot, straighten the leg, bring it back in line with the other leg, close the scissors, walk your left hand back out to the side, come to rest on your belly, rest on your chin or rest on one cheek for a breath or two. Can you feel a difference between that right shoulder and the left? It's okay if you can't tell. No wrong answer. Just notice what there is to notice. And when you're ready, start to walk your right hand in, pressing away from the floor, rocking onto your left hip, pressing your left shoulder to the floor. Mirroring directions is tricky. Almost guaranteed one mistake per class. If you like, Open the scissors, let the right heel drift back, maybe bend the leg. See what your body wants. Each side might want something different. If you want to play with raising the right arm and taking the half bind. Breathing into the twist, wherever you are, whatever version of this you're exploring. And take your time. If you moved your right hand, bring it back to the floor by your face. If you've moved your right leg, slowly bring it back over against the other leg. Walk that right hand back out. Come to rest on your belly. Rest on your chin or rest on one cheek for a couple breaths. If you're resting on one cheek, turn your head to center. Rest on your chin a moment. Bring your hands in under your shoulders. Inhale. Lift your head and chest to cobra, maybe upward dog if you feel ready for it. Exhale, rock back and up to downward dog. Make your way from down dog to forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. We'll pull through one sun salutation without adding stuff into the middle. Inhale up. And exhale down. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale down. Make your way to your plank. When you're ready from plank, maybe this time you'll just lower halfway down. Then inhale to bring your heart forward. Exhale back and up to downward dog. Make your way to forward fold again. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale straight up through center. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Make your way to your plank. If your arms feel tired, maybe you go right from plank to down dog. Otherwise, exhale, lower halfway. Inhale, open your heart. Exhale, back and up. And we'll just rock from down dog to plank. Inhale, glide forward to plank. Exhale, glide back and up. And do it 3 or 4 more times. Use the whole inhale to come forward. Use the whole exhale to go back and up. Really feeling into each pose. Feel your plank. Feel your down dog. And let's meet in plank. And once more, slowly as you can, lower all the way down. Don't stop breathing. Untuck your toes if you didn't already. Reach your hands back next to your hips, palms down. Inhale, lift your chin, lift your feet, lift your hands, lift your knees, lift your chest. Some big breaths. Feel your belly rocking up and down. Exhale, slowly lower down. Maybe rest on one cheek if you don't want to rest on your chin. Now, bend your knees. Reach your heels towards your butt. One side at a time. Reach back and take hold of your feet or your ankles. And we'll take a heart opener in this bind. Inhale, lift your chin. If you can, lift your knees. Lift your chest, kicking against your hands. Good. Now keep your grip. Relax down. Let your chest down. Let your chin down. Release the grip. Keep the feet up. Rest your hands. Let your legs float back and forth like windshield wipers. And let your legs down. And from here, we're going to explore frog pose. We'll just do one side at a time. It's sometimes called half frog. Might bring up images of a dissection in biology class. Maybe that's just me. Reach your right arm to the side and bend your elbow. So it's like cactus arms, just with that one arm. And then draw that right knee towards that right elbow. And maybe turn your head so you rest on your left cheek. Just breathe into that. 3 or 4 breaths there. Sort of hugging the ground with this side of the body. Different way of opening that shoulder and hip. Maybe this is a position you like to sleep in. A lot of people like to sleep with this. Turn your head to center. Straighten your leg out. Straighten your arm out. And we'll do the other side. Raise the left arm. Bend the elbow. Draw the knee up. Turn your head. And just hug the floor with that side for a few breaths. You can do a similar stretch for your mid-back if you put your arm in this position and lean against a doorway or a corner of the wall and sort of lean your weight forward. You can get into some of those muscles in the middle of the back that way as well. Take your time to straighten the leg back behind you, slide the hand back by the hip, turn the head to center. Bring your hands in under your shoulders. Inhale, lift your head and chest, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back and up to downward dog. Take 3 cleansing breaths. Walk your hands back to your feet. With soft knees and heavy arms, let your arms swing front to back. Let the weight of your arms pick up momentum so the swinging gets bigger and bigger. And from a full swing, go sit back, reach up, chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands reaching up, shoulders melting down a little bit away from the shoulders. Shoulders melting away from the ears. Sitting, releasing down, releasing in the fronts of the hips, the backs of the knees, the fronts of the ankles. Inhale, stand. Exhale, hands down. We'll come to chair pose again from here. Inhale, sit back, reach up. And bring your hands to your heart, pressing them together, pressing them to your sternum. We'll explore twists from here, but we want to stay lined up. So keep your hands centered on your chest. Keep your knees lined up with each other, just like they are. Without losing that alignment, exhale, twist to the right, any amount without losing that alignment. So sometimes when we twist deeply, we bring the elbow to the outside of the knee, but don't sacrifice the alignment to do it. If you do that, then you might explore spreading your wings. Open your arms in that twist. It feels really nice when you can do it. Some days you can't go that far, and that's all right too. If you've opened your arms, bring your hands back together, pressing to your sternum, pressing to each other. Inhale back through center, slowly with control, makes it hard to talk. Exhale, twist to the left. And if you like, spread your wings in the twist. If you spread your wings, bring your hands back together. Inhale back through center. Big exhale, fold. Take another of those. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, down. Inhale, all the way up, hands overhead. And exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, up through center line. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Walk your hands forward and find your downward dog. Inhale, lift both heels, maybe rock onto your toes. Exhale, lower your heels. Lower your knees. Cross your ankles. Walk your hands in towards your knees and either roll over your ankles to come to a seat or tip onto one hip and spin. Either way, we meet sitting up, legs extended forward, feet flexed back towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down over those extended legs. On each inhale, think of the crown of your head reaching forward. On each exhale, think of lowering some more. If your knees need to bend, they can bend. Let them bend. Inhaling, walk your hands up the fronts of your legs and sit up. Let your arms help your legs slide open. And then bring your right foot over by your left thigh or left knee. Pivot your torso. Aim your sternum at your left toes. Flex those toes towards you. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, fold over that left leg. Exploring with the breath once again to see about deepening the fold a bit. Draw your right hand in towards your heart. Reach it out to the side. And then rotate your arm. Turn your thumb down and your palm back. And then fold that arm across your low back. Back of the hand maybe coming to the sacrum or thereabouts. And peel that right shoulder back. Extend the arm out. Rotate the palm forward. Thumb up. Reach the arm up and alongside your ear in the direction of the other arm. Yes, reach up, out, come back through center, and then walk your hands up the front of your leg. And let your arms keep helping your legs. Once you're set up, extend the right leg out again. Bend the left one, bring the foot across to the opposite leg. Pivot the torso and flex those right toes towards you. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold down over your leg. Spend a few breaths there, discovering there's a little further to go. Inhale, crown of the head comes forward. Exhale, maybe your head and your body lower some more. Bring your left hand in through center and out to the side. Rotate palm back, thumb down. Fold the arm across the low back and peel that left shoulder back. Extend your arm again. Rotate the other way. Reach up and over towards that right foot. Reach your arm up and out. Bring it in and across. Walk your hands up your leg and sit up. Arms helping the legs extend left. Bring the legs in and bring your feet together. Have a good distance between your heels and your pelvis here, soles of the feet together. Slide your hands under your ankles if you can, or reach over your ankles, grab the floor, and walk your hands forward. Make a pencil. Let your neck relax, let your head drop down. Breathe into that space above your sacrum, the middle of your lower back. Start to scoot your hands back, press up to a seat. One more fold. Feet together, draw your heels in as close as you can. Interlace your fingers, grab the tops of your toes, wriggle. Bring the bones in your seat closer to the ground, tilt your pelvis. Inhale, lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward with the long spine. See how far the long spine wants to go. When the long spine isn't lowering anymore, let the neck disengage. Let your head drop and breathe into your hips. Inhale, slowly sit up. Let your arms help your legs. Lift your knees towards each other. Rest your hands out past your hips. Wiggle your feet further apart. To the edges of the mat is a good distance if you're on a mat. And let your knees go back and forth to whatever degree they want to. And then we'll set up for bridge pose. So if you've got blocks handy, you can set a block between your feet on the middle setting. If you don't have blocks, you can do this with your hands. And then you're going to bring your hands behind you, scoot forward towards your heels, come down onto your forearms, down onto your back. I'm going to just reorient myself. And then when I'm lying down, my head is closer to this microphone here. So you end up on your back with your heels as close to your butt as they'll get. And you might put a block between your knees in the same position. Setting our knees and our ankles the same distance apart as our hip sockets. Press into the soles of your feet. Inhale, lift your hips up. There's your basic bridge pose. If you want to go further, you might wriggle your shoulder blades towards each other under you. Clasp your hands and reach your knuckles towards your heels. Check in and make sure that your neck is relaxed. You're not scrunching your neck up. Sometimes we waste energy there, scrunching our neck up. Neck doesn't have to do anything here. If you're clasping your hands, release them. Exhale, slowly let your hips down. How slow can you go? Find the strength and the slowness. Float up and down a few more times at your pace. Inhale to go up and exhale to go down. And pause the next time you land. Now, if you have blocks, take your other block and hold it between your hands the long way. And you can rest it on your knees on the first block. And inhale, float your arms up and back. And let that block touch down on the floor behind you. Take a couple of deep breaths there. Exhale, bring your arms forward through that arc so the blocks connect. And then we'll add this arm movement to bridge movement. We call this the floating bridge. Inhale, lift your hips, float your arms up and back. Exhale, lowering your hips, float your arms forward and down. And just follow your breath. You can make it more challenging by going slower or coming up higher or taking extra breaths at the top. Maybe play with seeing if you can get your butt to land at the same time that the blocks connect, or your hands find your knees if you're not using a block. If you have a block between your knees, check in with that pressure. Are you trying to crush that block, or are you just letting it be a spacer? Sometimes we waste energy there too. You don't need to squeeze the heck out of the block. Doesn't take much pressure to hold them in place. Think of your knees moving forward and back in line with the direction your toes are pointing. Let your next exhale down be the last one. If you're using blocks, set them aside well out of the way. Draw your knees towards your chest, hug your knees. Explore any rocking and rolling movements that you want to massage your back against the ground. Let your right foot land, cross your left ankle above your right knee. Reach your arms to the sides. Let your legs fall to the right and your head turn to the left, and your shoulders stay grounded. Come slowly back to center and cross your legs the other way. Twist the other way. Legs go left, head goes right. Shoulders stay grounded. Softly come back to center. Uncross your legs. Draw your knees towards your chest. Reach your feet towards the ceiling. Reach your hands up. Grab your legs or feet in whatever way you like and play with bending and straightening your limbs. Exploring movement in happy baby pose. If you'd prefer a different inversion, go for it. Maybe you move a little, maybe you move a lot. It doesn't matter. Some days we want different things. Some days we want more movement. Some days we want a different inversion. Play with inverting for as long as you like. When you feel complete with your inversion, you can make your way to the final resting pose of integration. That might be corpse pose, Shavasana. Legs extended, feet splayed open, hands resting outside the hips, palms up or palms facing in, pinky edge on the ground. And that's just one option. If that's not comfortable, please get comfortable. It's more important for you to be comfortable than it is to be in this particular posture. And allow little adjustments. Nothing says you have to be perfectly still. What was comfortable 3 seconds ago maybe isn't comfortable now. You can change. You can shift. Gradually finding more stillness. settling in to simply focus on your breathing or reflect upon the intention you set for yourself at the start of this practice, or just choosing to let your mind drift. Breathe in gradually, getting slower and deeper. These bigger breaths in the stillness, allowing all those wonderful muscles to relax a bit more with each breath. Getting a little bit closer to the floor on each exhale. You're welcome to tune me out, or to maybe use the breath to visualize gathering things you need and releasing things you don't. Inhaling peace, exhaling worry, inhaling energy, exhaling fatigue. Inhaling gratitude, exhaling stress. Inhaling love, exhaling anger, judgment. Inhaling whatever you want, exhaling whatever you don't, whatever does not serve you. Start to find some deeper breaths. Nice and slowly wiggle your toes and fingers. As your movements lead to bigger movements, roll your ankles and your wrists. And these are all suggestions, by the way, whatever movements you want. Maybe turning your head from side to side, starting to move arms and legs some more. When you're ready, take your time to gently sit yourself up. If you want to. Sometimes it's nice to just stay lying down. Go right from practice to nap. Bring your hands to your heart if you like. Thank you for sharing practice with me today. The light within me sees and honors and bows to that same light within you. Namaste. Make sure to visit our digital tip jar mechanisms at urbanyoga.org or on Kristen Olson's Urban Yoga Center Facebook page so you can support us in these Zoom classes. See you next time. And questions and feedback are always welcome. That goes for the folks on YouTube to use those comments. Let me know how to do this better.